It's been a roller coaster, but you stayed. And now I'm taking over for the day. Cause I can be what you wanna be. And I can feel, but you laugh at me. Take me to a place I'm calling for. Open up the doors, I'm knocking on. I'm losing control. Be the one to leave my fantasy. Show you, baby, your hands all over me.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kaydene Campbell, and welcome to another Transformation Thursday video. Now this week I'll be starting off with the client's eyes. So I did her brows off camera. Well, I didn't do it off camera, I just didn't include it. So now what I'm gonna do is blend out the P. Louise base that I'm using as her primer for her eyeshadows. I'm going to use this brush from BH Cosmetics, and it's from it's my Ray brush collection. Now I'm going in with the 35B palette from Morphe, and I'm using two shades, a coral color that wasn't as vibrant as I expected, so I went straight in with the orange. Now I'm just going to blend this in her crease area in a circular motion. I'm blending and packing it onto her lid. That gives me a better color payoff when you pat it in, because this is a matte shadow, and just want to pack that in. Pack that baby. Now once I'm done with that, I'm going to go right back into the 35B palette from Morphe Cosmetics, and I'm going to take that beautiful yellow shade. Yeah, I'm going to take that shade and use it to blend out the orange. You see how harsh the orange color was? I want to blend out that area so that both color bleeds into each other and form a seamless blend basically. Now I'm just gonna blend that out, and I'm just gonna take this time to ask you guys to please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, tell me what you'd like to see from me, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm just blending it away, turning her head for a better way for me to blend. Then after that, I'm gonna go in with a color from the 25A palette. It's a brown color. Yeah, I didn't like that because it caused some form of separation. It's so hard for me to describe, but I'm sure you probably can see it. Yeah, I didn't like how it was looking, but I wanted that area to be a little bit more darker, or I wanted to add more depth to that area. That's why I used the brown, but it wasn't working out, and it was causing like a weird separation with all three colors. So I don't know, but what I did was I went in to cut her crease, so I canceled out that. Thank God I was able to cancel it out. So I went in with the same P. Louise base, and I'm using a flat brush. Well, it's like a concealer brush, and I'm using that to cut her crease. Now once I started cutting her crease, I realized that brown color and whatever was happening with the colors was being cancelled out. So I just went as high as possible to get rid of that. Yeah, so I'm just basically taking my time, because when you're cutting the crease, especially when you're cutting the crease on someone else, it's a bit more difficult to do so you want to be as close as possible, and you also want to take your time making small strokes, patting it in if you have to. Sometimes I do pat it to make it, sharp. That's what I love. I like my cut crease to be sharp, because it is a cut crease after all. So once I get to the end portion of because I'm doing a half cut crease, so once I get to that portion, I want to blend out the edges, because when I start adding the lid colors and also the end color, or the outer portion, I want it to be seamless. So I pat in the base as well to add the color. So I'm going in back I'm going back into the 35B palette using that gorgeous blue color. And I'm just gonna pack that onto her lid in a swiping motion. Because this is a shimmer color, you want to swipe this onto the lid. You don't want to pat it in, because if you pat, it won't stay. So you want to swipe it because it has shimmer in it. If it was a matte color, then definitely you could have patted. Well, you would have to pat it, but it's not matte, so you just swipe that bad boy onto the lid, baby. So I'm doing the same thing to the other eye. Pat, 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 swipe, 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 swipe. Yeah, I do both, because when you get to the closer to the cut crease area, it's a bit difficult to just swipe. So you want to take your time. Then I'm gonna go back into the 25A palette, one of my favorite neutral palettes, and I'm going to use the black from that palette to blend out the end portion of the blue. No, once I started to pack that black, it's only black in this palette, so you can use any black as long as it's matte, any black. So I started to pack it onto her to lids, and I go back and forth with the blue and the black, because you don't want a harsh line to separate the colors. You want them to bleed into each other, or to form a graduation from one color to the next. Now, in order to get that, you have to pack the blue to the black and the black to the blue. So basically go back and forth with the two colors to form that graduation. That is so important, guys. So that's why having a lot of tools, a lot of brushes for different reasons, different techniques is very important. Then what I also want you to understand as well, you have to reinforce the colors, because once I start adding the black, you will start to see the orange and the yellow fade. So you want to reinforce that as well. So you go back and forth with the black, the orange, and the yellow. Okay, so remember, if you're losing the color, you can always add it back to make it stand out. That's important. So I primed her face, and I used the Arbonne, I think it's Arbonne primer, and now I'm using the Fenty Pro Filter foundation in 430, and I'm just gonna pack that on her face using the stippling brush. I think this stippling brush is from BH Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna pat that in. Love the application for her or the finish of her foundation. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna go in with the highlight color, and I'm using Age Rewind concealer from Maybelline in tan, so the color tan, and I'm going under her eyes, bridge of her nose, middle of her forehead, and her chin. She's feeling it. Then I'm gonna go in with the contour color, and then this is also from Maybelline. I'm telling you, Maybelline is the plug. For drugstore, it's the ish. I'm gonna ask, may I tell you, girl, you need to go find your match. So I'm gonna blend out the contour, and I'm also gonna blend out the highlight. So first I start off with the contour, not fully. I didn't blend it out fully. Then I went under the eyes, because as you can see, the concealer is a little bit brighter, and I kind of liked that. So I went in with a brush, not a sponge only. I used both, but mostly the brush, and I started to pat that in. Love how flawless this came out, by the way. Ha ha ha. Then I went in with the sponge here and there, but mainly the brush. Then as you can see how sharp it is from the contour to the highlight, and you don't want that, so you want to blend that out. So I went back into the contour brush, and I'm gonna blend out the cheek so that the contour and the highlight bleed into each other and there's no harsh line. And that's, I'm telling you, if you take anything from my videos, always take blending. Blending is the key to a flawless makeup application, believe it or not. Of course you do. I say it every day, every time, and you see it right in front of your eyes. It's no joke. Blending is key. And I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with the contour and the highlights to make sure everything is seamless, because that is important. So I set the highlights, and of course I use the Maybelline loose powder in 35 deep. Now I'm gonna go into my favorite face powder, and this is from Sephora, the micro smooth powder. I need to re-up on this because my personal ones is finished, so I need to get that. Perfect, love it. I can't do my makeup without it. I really don't. For the past 3 years I haven't. And I'm just gonna blend that out to make sure her face is smooth and everything is set beautifully. Okay, look how beautiful this looks. Wow. Then I'm gonna go into the contour palette from BH Cosmetics. I'm using the last two shades, the last two dark shades, to I mix them together to do her contour. Then I'm gonna go ahead with the same glue that I use on her lids to add to the lash line. I also lined her waterline with black liner, but she had to do it herself because she wasn't having it. I don't mind. It's because you want to be comfortable at all times, and if the client is not comfortable, let them do it themselves. And then I went ahead and I blended out the blue with a little bit of the orange that I had in the crease and the yellow as well. And then I went on into the highlights, and I'm using It's My Ray Ray palette from BH Cosmetics, and I'm using that color to highlight. Love this, love it. Beautiful, beautiful, flawless color. I love this palette. I haven't used much of the eyeshadows, but the bottom portion gets used, baby. So I'm just going on the high points of her face to bring that forward. Then I'm gonna move into her lips. I lined her. Oh, sorry. Before I do that, I actually used some blusher on her, which is MAC Raisin, just to let her face, to blend out a highlight basically, and to add more color. So I went in with a brown pencil to line her lips, then some concealer as the lipstick, multi-purpose, I'm telling you. Then I went in with some lip gloss, and that was it. Sprayed her face with some Morphe setting spray, and that was it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Cause you and I will never fade, and I could be what you wanna be, and I can feel but you lie for me. Take me to